Welcome to Story Time with God. Listen to this while going for a walk, driving in your car, or you can think of it as some alone time with God. Whatever you choose, my only hope is to help you understand God's kingdom of life. These short stories are broken up into mini chapters. In this short story, you'll learn how to get back up when life knocks you down. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Rise. It is fascinating to watch young children playing sports. Inevitably, someone gets knocked down, whether intentionally or not, but like clockwork, they get back up and continue playing as if nothing happened. In the game of life, things happen, and we get knocked down like losing a job, divorce, a wayward child, or a negative doctor's report. Unfortunately, the ability to get back up becomes increasingly more difficult as time and life progress. Often, divine intervention is needed for us to get back up and into the game. In the book of Mark, chapter 5, Jairus, a synagogue leader who heard of the miracles Jesus performed, pleaded with Jesus to come and heal his ailing daughter. While they moved through the crowd, Jesus was detained. Shortly after, people from Jairus' home came and shared news that no father ever wants to receive. "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" The announcement of the little girl's death did not dissuade Jesus from going to be by her side. People were weeping and wailing loudly when Jesus entered the home. This included professional mourners who were paid to help comfort grieving families in a passionate way. Not only did his daughter's death cost him emotionally, but it also cost him financially, as he was required to pay the mourners. Jesus asked, "Why are you making so much noise and crying? The child isn't dead. She's just sleeping." Many Bible commentators agree that Jesus questioned their mourning because it signaled a lack of faith. As a result, he sent them away from the home so that he can pave the way for a miracle. Before we can rise again, we may need to follow Jesus' example and eliminate the naysayers in our circle. In a space where a miracle is about to take place, fear, doubt, negative self-talk, murmuring, and complaining, whether from ourselves or others, cannot dwell simultaneously. For Jairus and his family, hope had arrived, and his name was Jesus. When Jesus went into the room where his daughter was, Jesus took her by the hand and said, "Talitha cumi," which means, "Little girl, arise." Today I hear the Lord saying, "Even though I didn't come when you initially called, arise." The things you have experienced do not define you, nor do they have the power to hinder or abort what I placed within you. So arise. I declare that despite being knocked down by circumstances, today I am arising and shining, for the glory and brilliance of the Lord has risen upon me, in Jesus' name. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Chapter 2, Expectations. Expectation is the root of all heartaches. There was a time in my life when I lived by this quote. I am a planner by nature, and while in college I carefully crafted my life plan, and I was ready to move and groove. However, shortly after graduation I experienced one setback after another. I questioned if my expectations were unrealistic, or if I had done something wrong. My concept of life inside and outside of the classroom was based on a formula I came up with. Certainly, if I crossed my T's and dotted my I's, life would flow according to my plan. I was rudely awakened to the error of my ways, as absolutely nothing was going as I had planned. I continued praying and attending church regularly, but deep in my heart doubt was attempting to arise. I felt like my expectation was the culprit, so if I no longer had any expectations, then my chances for heartaches would be diminished. Honestly speaking, this mindset persisted for quite a while. I prayed and believed for others, but in my heart of hearts, I was deeply overwhelmed with sadness and disappointment. I felt like things would never change for me. Years later, I began to see a shift in both my mindset and my life. Early one morning during my prayer time, I sat quietly meditating on the Word. Out of nowhere, I heard a noise outside my window that startled me. I could not see anything, so I immediately got up. My view was obstructed by a concrete wall, so I stood on my tiptoes, hoping to get a glimpse of what I heard. I was never able to see anything, but that morning I clearly heard the Lord say, "I have heard your requests, and this is the position that I need you to remain in on your tiptoes, as you expectantly wait for the manifestation of what I have promised." That day it was unmistakable that my expectations needed to rise to a new level. Picture a young child whose parents promised to bring them candy, and they are eagerly awaiting their return from work. Standing on their tiptoes by the window, they anxiously look for the familiar sight of the car, barely able to contain their excitement as they anticipate what's to come. Just like in Psalm chapter 40 verse 1 says, "I waited, and waited, and waited some more, patiently, knowing God would come through for me. Then, at last, he bent down and listened to my cry. Now is the time for your expectations to arise. Remember, a delay does not equate to a denial. During periods of delay, the Lord is at times reshaping our hearts and desires. Everything in my plan did not magically appear. However, the detours I encountered have taken me on a journey I could have never imagined. As you position yourself on this journey, I believe a spirit of expectation will arise in your life. This will not only reveal another dimension of who God is, but it will also enable you to be what He wants you to be. Expect Him to do the impossible. Expect Him to perform a miracle. Today I declare that the Lord will do remarkable things in my life. Even though I have sown in tears, I will reap with joyful singing. I will remain confident that I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. This concludes this part of the story. If you liked or learned anything today, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment below your favorite part of the story. Thank you so much for listening. Now, here's the fun part. Let's apply what we've learned with a reflection question. What areas in your life might need a spiritual awakening to truly arise and live a purposeful life?